So here we are then, Southampton versus Watford this weekend. Hello WD18, this is Freddie from the Ugly Inside, this Southampton channel. Let's start off then with last week's total embarrassment at the Etihad. You know, Man City 6, Saints 1. Was it a sensational City side or was it just a downright atrocious Saints side? I think I will go for the latter. I think it's all the cliches in the book, like boys versus men. You know, it was like a knife through butter, and the players come out after the result and said, you know, we need a massive reaction against Watford. And for me, if we don't see that, then the axe must wield for Mark Hughes. It is make or break, in my opinion. You know, this season, it's been totally uninspiring, totally disappointing. 7 points from 11 games. You know, gave us the feel-good factor at the end of last season, but I think he should have just stepped away at that point. We should have gone for an ambitious manager in the summer and actually give us a bit of optimism this season. If we don't see a convincing, comfortable victory, then Mark Hughes must go, in my opinion. As for the playing staff, the predicted 11, it could be anyone's guess. Hughes doesn't know his best partnerships at the back or up front. Quickly for the team, it could be McCarthy, Cedric, Bertrand at left back. Wesley Hoot seems to be the favoured centre back alongside Jack Stevens recently, but having said that, Hoot's actually a doubt, so we might see a return to Vestergaard or Yoshida in the starting 11. In midfield, you're looking at Højbjerg and Lamina holding the fort in the middle of the park, assuming it's a 4-4-2, of course. On the left, you might see Redmond. On the right, you might see Elyounoussi, but he's been kept out over the last few weeks. He's struggling to find his feet in English football, so you might even see Ward-Prowse deputise again at right midfield. He did against City last weekend. Up front, it's got to be Danny Ings, you know, top goal scorer this season, and might see Charlie Austin. Who knows? It could be Shane Long or Gabbiadini. He just keeps us guessing every week. But like I said, I think it's got to be make or break for Mark Hughes. We must win and get a new manager in as soon as possible after the weekend. I don't think it's going to be a home win. We're clutching. We're desperate for a home win. We've seen one home win in almost a calendar year this weekend. The only win coming against Bournemouth in April. Other than that, nothing. So we're desperate to see 3 points at St Mary's this weekend. To be honest, I don't have too much confidence in the team or the manager at the moment. I think Watford have what it takes to actually steal a victory again. You guys were quite convincing last season, and you know, you came back from 2 goals down at the Vic in January earlier this year, and I think it might go the same way this year. You know, we're failing to defend the leads, and I think we might even come out of this game with a draw, and again another disappointing day at St Mary's.
Hello everyone watching on WD18. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Dan and I'm part of a brand new Southampton YouTube channel called The Saints View. I'm sure the boys will be nice enough to leave the link in the description below. And I'm here to just give you a little bit of an insight from the Southampton side of things ahead of our game at St Mary's on Saturday. Where to start? There's not really much to go with because it's been so dreadful that I don't have much to say that's positive. 1 win all season in the league, 7 points, 16th place. It's absolutely abysmal right now. Recently, we went up to Man City and got battered 6-1. And in fairness, the reason why it was such a massive scoreline was because we actually had a go. And fans disagree with me when I say this, but I think we had a go. We tried, but you know, given the fact that we're so poor right now, playing a team like Manchester City, they're going to absolutely annihilate you. They're just going to capitalise on all your mistakes. And trust me, there have been a lot of mistakes this season. In terms of reports, Mark Hughes is going to be sacked if he doesn't win on Saturday, and to be fair, if that's the case, then maybe some fans may be wishing for us not to win on Saturday because they want him out. What's the problem for me though, if I'm speaking from my personal opinion, the replacement that we'll get in will be no better. It'll be boring football. It'll be exactly what we're complaining about right now with Mark Hughes. It's going to be a Sam Allardyce, David Moyes. They're the 2 favourites for the job right now. Gordon Strachan is another contender. So it's not going to change. That's the depressing part of it. I do think that Saturday is a must-win for Southampton, guaranteed. In terms of Watford, you know, you're playing well. Your last result was quite surprising. The fact that you went to a winless Newcastle and lost. And, you know, that probably gives us a little bit of hope. Quite a few players now that Watford have that we really need to look out for. Deulofeu, obviously. Even Doucouré and Capoue seem to be decent powerhouses in midfield. So, you know, there's a lot to watch out for. If you want to look at our side and think, who is going to cause us some problems. And mind you, there aren't that many in terms of attack. I think we've obviously got to look at Danny Ings. 5 goals in all competitions, 4 Premier League goals this season. He's not been a bad signing. He's on loan originally. That's going to go up to 60 million quid next summer. So it seems like a good bargain. Everyone loves having him because he's a local lad. He's from down the road. Supported Saints as a child. So it's great having him in the team. Nathan Redmond is also someone you should look out for because in terms of chances created, he's been brilliant. Like last season, he only had 1 goal, got a lot of criticism. Went out in the summer, put in the extra hours, put in the extra miles, and he's come back a great player. A lot better for it as well. But he just doesn't have the stats to back it up. No goals yet. But to be fair, there aren't many goals in the team. But the crosses he's been putting in the box, they're dangerous. You need to watch out for them. Also, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg has probably been, for me, our player of the season so far. Committed. Just an excellent midfielder all round. He has given the ball away cheaply in some situations that has cost us at times, but I think you do need to sort of close him down if you want Southampton to stop playing, if they're going to play at all, really. So maybe that gives you a bit of hope ahead of the game. If I'm going to give a prediction, I'm going to go for a scrappy 1-0 because I think we're going to have a go. In fairness, we had a go against Newcastle, but we don't have goals in the side. So if we're going to win it, it's going to be probably just with the 1 goal. So I hope that gives you a good insight. I'm looking forward to seeing the boys, Jacob and Robin, on Saturday. Haven't seen them in a while. Will be good to catch up. All right, see you in a bit.